Good morning. We're live. It's great to be with you. It's Monday morning, the start of a new week. It's time for Augment Your Life. My name is Dave Blanchard. I'm the CEO of the Og Mandino companies and a partner with Blanchard Leadership. And we've been entrusted with the worldwide rights to Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world, the 10 scrolls, the movie rights to the greatest salesman, and just had some meetings on that over this last week. So exciting. And another one later this afternoon. So wonderful time to be alive. This morning, I have been studying scroll number 1. Now, when we study the scrolls, it's important that we understand that we're not to study scroll 1 3 times a day for 30 days. Some people do that. It's 11 and a half minutes long. Sometimes that's so discouraging. It's really hard to get through that. And they quit before they begin. Scroll 1 is really a bookend. It sets up for us why we're going to be studying the scrolls. And then scroll 10 is like the other bookend on the other end. So read scroll 1 2 or 3 times to get an idea of why we're here, that we have surrendered our free will to these years of accumulated habits, and the past deeds of our life have already marked out a path which threatens to imprison our future. What are we going to do? What are we going to do moving forward? Today, I begin a new life. And every day, today, I begin a new life. Next day, today, I begin a new life and begin this process. There's a paragraph in this scroll that is so powerful, especially for our day and time that we live in right now. But I want to set it up for a moment because it's really telling us what's going to happen if we actually agree to then start with scroll 2 and read it 3 times a day for 30 days. Not because of the structure, but because it's scheduled to feed our soul. We read it early in the morning. That raises our consciousness. We read it midday to stay in that space. We read it before we go to bed tonight so that these thoughts can seep into our mysterious mind, that mind that never sleeps and makes us act in ways we do not comprehend, our subconscious. That's the purpose. So what's the promise? Let's first take a look at the process. Starting with scroll 2, 3 times a day for 30 days. Why is it so critical? We live in a day when people are focused on themselves, their belief system, what they're trying to push forward. We are not seeing another human being as priceless and unique, regardless of belief systems. Regardless of belief systems, seeing them as priceless and unique, stepping into their world and listening till that person feels understood, taking down walls so that we can have conversation. Right now, everybody's talking to each other's wall, throwing up. Project, reject, project, reject, project, reject. It's in almost every facet of our life, from business to politics to religion. What a crazy time we live in. There's never been a time when we'll want to understand this scroll more than today. And the scroll is about agape love, not eros, pia, philo, not erotic, not maternal, not brotherly, but agape, a heightened level of awareness, seeing another person as priceless and unique. And most important of all, seeing ourselves as priceless and unique. So we take a look at this scroll, and we want to use our life experiences to serve another person. We want to see them for where they are. We don't want to react when they shoot arrows and spears at us. We want to hold up our spear of love, turn in the softest of rain. It gives us perspective. Oh my goodness, that person is really angry. I wonder what's going on in their life. What a great moment in time for us to bring agape love into our current world. Be a part of this. Scroll 3, I'll persist until I succeed. Oh my goodness, we live in a time of instant gratification. If things get tough, we quit. And Og is telling us it doesn't work that way. We keep our eye on the goal above our head. We ignore the obstacles at our feet. Where dry desert and green grass grows, we may have to work on in despair. We don't know how many more steps it's going to take, but I can always take one more. Anything can be accomplished with consistent small deeds. Sometimes life is like this. And when it's high, we go, oh, I get to rest. It goes down, we start to panic. When it goes high, we relax. When it goes down, we panic. No, consistent effort. Consistent effort. What a powerful, powerful scroll. We learn to master our skill set as the mariner does by learning how to ride out the wrath of every storm. Can you think of a time in history when we need this message more than today? Oh, we want our millennials reading this. Great conversation with a grandson last night who just loves video games. And he made a comment. He said, I just wish I could do in the world what I can do in a video game. Well, that's not going to happen. I did not choose to correct him or give him advice last night. I chose to just listen. Scroll 2, right? Just be with him. But oh my goodness, if we send 21-year-olds out in the world believing for a moment that life works the way a video game works, we're in trouble. We will want to persist until we succeed. Scroll number 4. I'm nature's greatest miracle. We want to be unique. We want to know our gifting, our natural genius. We're going to want to take that because we're here for a purpose. Og tells us that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth, I'll apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I'll strain my potential till it cries for mercy. And in our current world, he gives us powerful advice at the end of that scroll that will keep our effort, our actions focused on the task at hand. It'll help us forget everything else. When we're at work, we'll forget our home because that will cloud our judgment. When we're at home, we'll forget our work because that will cloud our love. Now, whether you work in your home or drive to an office, that carpet commute, from your bedroom to your office, it's a matter of mindset, blocking out that time. I'm in business, I stay focused. I'm with family, I stay focused. Has there ever been a time when we needed this more than today? Scroll 5. I'll live this day as if it is my last. It's not because we're going to die tomorrow. It's because at midnight tonight, this day's gone. Right now, we have April 8th. Happens to be one of my daughter's birthdays. Isn't that awesome? April 8th. What a powerful day. Monday, first day of the week. For us, the first day of the work week. So here we are on Monday, April 8th. What are we going to do with it? Well, let's not let one drop spill upon the sand. Let's not take this day and pollute it with frustrations about what happened before, failures, discouragements. Let's not pollute it, and let's not waste it trying to put tomorrow's gold in today's purse and tormenting ourselves over things that may never come to pass. Has there ever been a time in history than today when we'll want to learn how to live present in the now instead of living in our mind, holding life hostage, and being frustrated by it? We actually live here. Take the clay we've been given. Create, celebrate, create, celebrate, create, celebrate, and find joy in our journey. Oh my goodness, it's a powerful scroll. Scroll 6. Be the master of my emotions. Og tells us that trees and plants depend on the weather, but we make our own weather. Yes, we choose how we feel. 2:30 this morning, I was having a coughing fit. I've got a cold. Choice. Do I get excited about the day or do I let that wear me out? Let us choose the day. We get to choose how we feel. And also, we'll want to become increasingly tolerant about how other people are feeling. Og says they know not the secret of controlling their mind. In fact, today, they wouldn't buy a gold chariot for a penny. You imagine that? A gold chariot. Think about how much gold there would be in a chariot. $1 billion maybe? Wouldn't buy it for a penny. But tomorrow they'll exchange their house for a tree. Can you imagine that? That great secret. We bring that great secret to the world. That we'll never be offended on our first meeting by someone. They're just having a bad day. So we control our own emotions, and we become more tolerant of other people's emotions. And then we finally get to laugh. Oh, scroll 7. I'll laugh at the world. Anybody said this lately? This too shall pass. When man indeed brings forth my cries and my cursing, frustration. This too shall pass. We're most comical when we can't laugh. But in that scroll, watch for this phrase, that laughter brings everything into its proper perspective. Because sometimes we just blow up our world over things that in the river of time won't mean anything. It's like, why is it that when our neighbor offends us, we burn down our own house? Let us have a little laughter in our life. It is the great medicine. It cleans out the cortisol, restores our amygdala to a relaxed state. Let's have laughter in our life. Aren't these scrolls awesome? Do we need this today? Anybody need to laugh today? And scroll 8. Oh my goodness. Here we are, multiplying our value 100-fold. How do we do that? Do we work 100 times harder? No. We use our time more wisely. He says we're like a grain of wheat. We can be put in a sack, dumped in a stall, and fed to the swine. Or as a grain of wheat, we could be ground into flour, made into bread, broken open, and devoured by the will of others. Or we could choose to be planted in the darkness of the soil. That's our disappointments, our discouragements, in order to ripen, to mature, to sprout to 100 grains of wheat. We can actually multiply our value 100-fold by setting goals and using our time wisely. And all the scrolls to that point have prepared us by loving, by being persistent, by owning our natural genius, by being present in the now, by managing our emotions, by laughing. We bring all of that to this process, and we can actually be more effective. Can you see how they build on each other? And then the grand scroll. I call it the grand scroll. Scroll 9. More quotable quotes than any scroll. I will act now. We're back to living in our mind, frustrated, holding today hostage to our expectations, and then beating ourselves up because it's not showing up. My dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All are of no value unless they're followed by action. Only action determines my value in the marketplace. And then he introduces a concept from 1967 when it was written, 68 when it was published, that is really profound. The gift of metacognition. The ability for a human being to step back and reflect on their own thinking and to choose differently. I will command, Og says. And I, my habits of thinking, will obey my own command. I will act now. Unless I act, I will perish in a life of failure, misery, and sleepless nights. Wow. Are we practicing metacognition? Or are we still letting our habits of thinking control our day? By the time we get to scroll 9, we will build a foundation 3 times a day for 30 days. Building up to this scroll will speak to our soul. And about 10 days in, you'll look at one of those tasks you want to put off, and your mind will say, act now. And then scroll 10. Salesman's prayer. I ask not for gold or silver, or even opportunity. Really? No, instead I seek to acquire ability equal to my opportunity. I'm not calling on an innkeeper to bring me food and drink. I seek only guidance that I may be able to create. Creation's up to us, and the opportunities abound. Have you read a book and had a new insight? You've been to a seminar or a webinar and you had a new insight? You saw things differently. That's gaining a new level of ability to see things differently and to be able to show up in that space more effectively. That's what we want to seek. Now, Og tells us, that's where he started with scroll 1, right? If we actually do this, what's going to happen? What's the promise? Listen to this promise. As the words of these scrolls are consumed by my mysterious mind, I will begin to awake each morning with a vitality I've never known before. You can feel it, can't you? My vigor will increase. My enthusiasm, my God within, my natural gifting will rise. I'll start living in my natural genius. I'll start living in my gifting, bringing it fully to the service of other people. I'll be genuine, not egotistical, available. My desire to meet the world, I can't wait for the morning, will overcome every fear I once knew at sunrise. And here's the promise. And I'll be happier than I ever believed it possible to be in this world of strife and sorrow. The world doesn't change. Og's telling us that if we'll take the challenge to read the scrolls and do them 3 times a day over 30 days, starting with scroll 2 through scroll 10, and let these into our soul and begin to live them, not memorize them, live them, that we'll be happier than we ever imagined possible. We will be a different person in this world of strife and sorrow. We may be in the middle of a firestorm, yet we are happy and peaceful. May we decide today to take on this challenge. 10 months from now, your life will be much different. Thank you for your time this morning. May this be the best day of your life. Today I begin a new life. Let's begin one. Let's make that decision, regardless of how we felt when we woke up, right? No matter what's going on, the challenges we're facing, and some of you are facing some really painful, difficult challenges, even in that firestorm. Let us be happy and joyful and hopeful. Thanks, everybody. Have a blessed day. I see everybody that's been making notes. Thank you for being here and all the hearts. It's great to be with you this morning. Thank you.